Hello, Christmas Flixers. Welcome back to season 4 of Chicks on Christmas Flicks, where we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. I'm KL Brady, and I am so glad to be back. Bet you thought it was going to take longer for me to come back, didn't you? Nope, not so much. I told you guys I'm getting back into the groove, trying to get a few things off my plate at work, and then I can kind of get back to having a normal life, kind of, normal for the business I'm in. Anyway, I'm all excited to come back and talk to you, finish kind of breaking out week 1 of Christmas in July, get into week 2 of Christmas in July. Just so much going on. But first I'm going to kind of tell you guys what's going on. So my dad is moved in officially, 100% living out of here. It's great. Years ago when I bought my house, and I bought this big house, and I thought I was ridiculous for buying a larger house than I really needed for, me and my son. And now I'm like, this is why you bought the big house. Because everybody has space. We have space. We have space to live and breathe. We don't run over each other. And honestly, there are days when I can go without seeing my dad or my son in the house. So that's kind of nice. I mean, we can see each other when we want to, but when we don't want to see each other, we can all kind of go to our corners and we don't have to see each other. So that's kind of like living apart, but living together. It's beautiful. So I'm excited about that. And also, I am mentoring. So I'm mentoring. I decided all the signs were kind of a go for these 2 mentoring things. So I'm mentoring one person at work, officially mentoring, and I'm officially mentoring one person in romance writing or romantic comedy writing. And so I'm really excited about both of those. I never really thought of myself as having enough knowledge to start passing on to people, but guess what? I have enough knowledge that I can start passing on to people, and it's pretty exciting that I actually know stuff. Like, I kind of figure out that I know stuff when I start explaining to it, and I actually know what I'm talking about, and like it sounds rational and reasonable. I'm like, where did you get that? And it's all in my brain somewhere. So I'm just really excited about those 2 things, and also having my dad here. I'm excited about that. And then of course Christmas in July. I'm always excited. Like I say excited like 35 times. Don't think I don't know somebody's out there saying, Carla, why do you always say you're excited about everything? Because this I am really excited about. When I go to work to the 9 to 5, I don't talk about I'm excited. There's nothing you never hear me say I'm excited at work like the 9 to 5 job. It is this stuff that I get excited about. So I'm really happy to be here looking at Christmas movies, talking about Christmas movies in July, knowing that there's only a few short months after July is over before we get into Countdown to Christmas, It's a Wonderful Lifetime, and all those wonderful, beautiful things that happen during the holiday season. So sit back, relax. Let's get into more Christmas in July. I know we got to get through this month, out of this month, through August, through the fall harvest movies, and the Halloween movies. Hopefully we're going to get some Halloween movies this week, and then this year, and then into Countdown to Christmas. So anyway, let's start here. So if you haven't already, please check out the last episode, which was season 4, episode 1, Merry Movie Week, and day 1 of Christmas in July, which I covered what's happening today. So today I'm going to cover what's happening tomorrow through the first, let's call it 2 weeks of Christmas in July. And then the next show, I'll come back and I'll do the last 2 weeks of Christmas in July. Okay. Before that, I released the season 3 wrap-up show with Brittany at Hallmark Enthusiast 247, who is busy and about on Twitter and IG. If you're listening, Brittany, I'm giving you a shout out. Hey, shout out to Brittany. I'll be so excited to have you on the show. Hopefully we can do a show together, a couple shows together this year, like we do always. Well, we I say always, I've been doing this for a couple of years, right? But I'm hoping that we kind of get a countdown to Christmas preview, like a mid show, and then our wrap up show, our season wrap up show, as we always do, where we kind of anticipate like our top picks and see how when we actually watch the movies, how they line up against what we pick. So I'm hoping I can get Brittany roped in to do those. I'm excited about that. Yes, I'm excited. Okay. And so anyway, we had a lot to talk about though in those shows. So if you didn't listen to the wrap up shows, you're really missing out, because I was insightful and Brittany was like super insightful. So together we were like insightful to the second power. Okay. The last thing I want to say about this show, that it's probably going to be one of my blooper episodes. And the reason why it's going to be a blooper episode is because I'm mentoring people. I'm like trying to finish books. I'm still trying to get my house together. So I don't really have a whole lot of time to like super edit this episode. So what I'm going to do is leave the bloopers in, and you guys can forgive me in the next episode, hopefully. But hopefully I won't make that many mistakes. But if I do, I'm just not going to cut them out this time, because I just don't have a whole lot of time to edit this episode. But I wanted to get this episode out. Anyway, so let's get on with the show. First things first. St. Nick shoutouts. As always, at the beginning of the show, it's my tradition to give a shout out to the listeners who are so faithful and squeezing me into their busy schedules or making time for the show. Okay, so today it's a short day for the St. Nick shoutouts. I am sorry, the full length ones will begin with the Christmas season, with the countdown to Christmas, which isn't that far off, guys. It's really not that far off. We're talking October. Time is going so incredibly fast. Anyway, I picked 5 listener locations. And remember, I don't know who you are, but I know where you live. And number 1 on the list of thank yous this week is Bloomfield, Connecticut. Bloomfield, Connecticut. Thank you guys for listening into the show. So glad to have you. I think this is my first time that Bloomfield's actually been like in the top 10 of areas listening to the show. So I'm really excited to have Bloomfield, Connecticut. Number 2 is Columbus, Ohio. Yay, Columbus. I have family in Columbus. I don't know if they're listening. They're probably not. I don't think they're like Christmas movie fiends like I am. But I do have a lot of family in Ohio. So shout out to Columbus, Ohio. Number 3 is Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston, South Carolina, which is right below North Carolina, which I have a lot of family, and I actually own land in North Carolina. Thank you very much. So I consider it kind of home adjacent. So shout out to Charleston, South Carolina. Number 4 is Rice Lake, Wisconsin. Rice Lake, Wisconsin. Thank you guys for joining the show. I know I've given you a shout out during the season, like last season or the season before, but you're back up in the top 10. So I'm giving you a shout out now. Thank you for joining the show. And last but not least, number 5 is Boynton Beach, Florida. Boynton Beach, Florida. Thank you guys so much for joining the show. I want to say that's a new location, but I'm really excited to have you guys listening in. Okay, so let's get straight down to the ho holiday headlines. All right. Of course, we know the biggest news, repeat from last week, is that Christmas in July has begun. All right. So, Here's check this out though. So remember last time I reported a Christmas in July, and I talked about the Hallmark channels and Merry Movie Week and all of that, and they were pretty much the only game in town. Well, there's a new sheriff in town, guys. GAC has rolled in today with their Christmas in July. I think actually it started yesterday. Their Christmas in July, and they're doing it the way that Hallmark used to do it, 24/7 Christmas movies for the foreseeable future. I do not know if they're going to cut back later in the month, but I know right now it is 24/7 Christmas movies. And I want to say there are a few movies there that are coming from the Hallmark Channel, from like Up TV is where I've seen some of the other ones. I don't know if some of them are coming from streamers or what, but guess what? 24/7, and I can tell you there are two movies there that that I love. So I gotta I gotta keep it 100 with you guys. So the Doris Roberts, Miss Miracle movies. Yes, those are on GAC now. So Hallmark has the new Mrs. Miracle movies, but yes, the two Doris Roberts movies are on GAC. That's well. I love me some Doris Roberts. So, yeah, if you were looking for those movies, I'm just letting you know that's where they are now. There are a few movies on that channel that I saw on the lineup that are from like I said, Up TV. I think maybe I've seen them kind of on demand, but I haven't seen them actually, like on the Hallmark or on the Lifetime channels, right? So just keep that in mind. But they've got their whole slate of actors, and they're picking up movies apparently from a lot of different networks to be able to fill out their slate. So just know that there are 24/7 Christmas movies on GAC. Hallmark is having 10-hour movie marathons, right, every day, generally from 10 or noon to 10 at night. And I'm really looking forward to the slate. Wait till you hear the good stuff that's coming up. Some of my all-time favorites are playing. I don't know if there's anybody from Hallmark listening, but here's what I would love. I would love like one of the early weekends of a countdown to Christmas, especially in October, maybe early November, to have just the old school classic Hallmark movies playing the whole weekend. Just the ones that we don't get to see because there's so much content created from year to year. But the ones that got the audience hooked, we still love those movies. Honestly, for some of the movies are just like, they're just like, it's not Christmas on the Hallmark Channel if I don't see these movies. Now, I see a lot of them on HM Now, but I'd love to see them on regular TV. What am I talking about when I talk about like those classics that like I don't see very much anymore? I want to say like the Christmas Pageant is something that I would consider that one of those movies. The Christmas Shepherd, sometimes that plays on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, but I consider that a classic. Window Wonderland, with Paul Campbell. Love that movie. I consider that a classic. So I think I'm going to do a show with what I consider the Hallmark classics so that if you do want to make a weekend of it, I just done the work for you. How about that? Okay, so I think I'm going to squeeze that into my either July or August shows. I'm going to do a show on the Hallmark movie classics that I would love to see during an early weekend, all weekend long, day and night on the Hallmark Channel at the beginning of like August or November. I mean, October or November. So, anyway, that's coming. That's coming. I just thought of that. So, I'm going to put that in. Normally, I'd probably cut this out, but it's the blooper show. So, you get to hear like my rambling thoughts and then me actually, putting those things into action. All right. So anyway, you get about 12 hours of movies a day, 12 hours a day of movies on the Hallmark Channel, and GAC has 24/7 Hallmark movies, which is what Hallmark used to do. And honestly, I wish they would go back to, but I understand. I've seen the contention and the tension and the friction on like social network with people complaining that they don't get their cheers and they don't get their, they don't get their Golden Girls. The Golden Girls is a big thing, but Cheers people can live without. Frasier, it's kind of half and half, right? But, the Murder, She Wrote, you don't get to see Murder, She Wrote because she got movies playing 24/7. People get a little miffed about that kind of thing. So, so I understand it, but at the same time, I still would love to have 24/7 movies during Christmas and July and during Countdown to Christmas. Anyway, let's get back to it. So, 12-hour movies a day, 12 hours a day of movies, and then another go back on the Christmas reboot. So we know the Christmas reboot with Vanessa Lynges. I hope that's right. I know I'm butchering her name. And Corey Sevier. I think I have that one right. Anyway, it was supposed to be called the Christmas reboot, but now they've changed the name. I don't know if I mentioned this on the last show, but I meant to if I didn't. But the name of the show, the name of the movie is now Take Me Back for Christmas. It's not the Christmas reboot. It's Take Me Back for Christmas. So little name change, but that happens. That happens more often than you think with movies and title changes. And so sometimes if you report a movie early in the season, the name has changed by the time it's actually released on TV. So got to be aware of stuff like that. Anyway, so just keep in mind the Christmas reboot is now Take Me Back for Christmas. And that is the second new movie for, I hope we get to see some of that chemistry on the screen. I'm really excited about that. Okay, so Katie, the girl, plays Ava, a new employee at the Royal Ice Hotel. Huzar plays her love interest, the Royal Prince. Cassidy is well known for her role on Laurel Lance on Arrow. I've never watched Arrow. And Huzar, of course we know Steven. He's like done so many Hallmark movies, both holiday and not. He played Luke on Chesapeake Shores. I love Chesapeake Shores. I really missed that one. And then he had guest roles on in a lot of stuff, so we know him. But we get another like summer royal treat. So I'm excited to see this. And then I'm kind of excited to see Steven play a prince, which I don't think I've seen him play before in the past. And then his co-stars, like his former co-stars, shout out, congratulations, and say that I know you're going to be a wonderful dad and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited. He really seems like a kind spirit, everything. That's what matters at the end of the day. Do you have a kind spirit, a kind heart to be raising? You should see the way he looked at that little girl. Oh my goodness. Talk about mush. You will just turn to mush looking at him, looking at his daughter. So I'm excited for Luke. And let me tell you something. He's probably not going to be in the Hallmark movies for a little while because he's probably going to be missing out on a whole lot of sleep. Because I can tell you, man, those first few months, mamas know, those first few months home where you're getting adjusted to each other and you're getting adjusted to that eating schedule. Like my son, he came home. He was an 8-pounder. Yes, my son was like 8 pounds, 3 ounces. And he kept crying and crying. And the reason why he was crying as I found out, thankful for my mom, her advice. But he was hungry. He was, I was feeding him. I was breastfeeding, and he wasn't getting enough food. So I had to, yeah, we had to. He ended up eating a lot, and then so early on we ended up just putting a little rice in his food so that he would, and he was full, and he would go to sleep, and he was happy. But he was starving to death, and that is why. And nothing has changed. He like inhales my refrigerator. Like when I put food in the refrigerator, he just opens it up, inhales, and all the food disappears. It's insane. So not much has changed from when he was a baby to now. But anyway, so Luke and his partner Hig, congratulations, and you got your hands full for a little while until you get to know that little lady. Um, anyway, so I think that's kind of, oh, one more piece of news. One more piece of news. So for those of you out there who have Samsung TVs, okay, if you have Samsung TVs and you get the free Samsung network that's on the TVs, guess what? Samsung has a Christmas in July channel. It's a whole channel that plays nothing but Christmas movies for Christmas in July. It is free. So even if you don't have Samsung, you can sign up for free TV and get the Christmas in July channel. And I heard the news, and I still have not gone down to pull up the app on my TV because I do have one of the big Samsung TVs. And then I bought my dad a smaller one. So if you have Samsung, or if you just want to get free TV on a Samsung account, you could probably get it on any Samsung device, or you can probably go online and just sign up for it. Like you could sign up for Tubi, right? Or Freevee, right? Do that. Get the Christmas in July channel and watch all the free Christmas movies that you want to watch. And some of them are like, pretty popular movies. So go check it out. I'm excited about that for everybody else, including me, because there are some times when I actually want to be watching Christmas movies, but they quit running on Hallmark because I keep crazy hours. Like I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning, so so at 3 o'clock in the morning I want to see Christmas movies. Frasier, awesome. Cheers, awesome. Reba, awesome. I want to see Christmas movies. It's just me. So it's great to have a free place where I can go turn to Christmas movies and they'll just run. So if you weren't aware of it, you are now. Go check out the Christmas in July on the Samsung TV. Awesome. All right. So now it's time to talk about what to watch for Christmas in July for the rest of week 1 and for week 2. So I'm really happy about this. So tomorrow, so these are some of the things I am going to watch. I can tell you, Sunday, tomorrow, just might be my favorite day of the week all week. And it is because the lineup is incredible. I'm excited about this lineup. I'm happy, thrilled about this lineup. Sunday, we're going to start with at 10 a.m. Christmas with the Darlings. You guys know how much I love Katrina Law. I love Katrina Law. So it is the first movie of the day. I love her in the 12 Gifts of Christmas. I love her in Snow Bride. Snow Bride is one of those movies I would consider a Christmas classic that, I would like to see them play over and over again. During that whole weekend when I have the Christmas classics playing, that's one of the movies. But anyway, so Christmas with the Darlings, I think is her third Christmas movie with Hallmark Channel, at least that I've seen. It's the third for me. So I'm really excited about Christmas with the Darlings. That is such a cute movie. Katrina and Carlo Marx, I think, are an adorable pairing for the Hallmark Channel. Okay, the second movie for tomorrow, Sunday, is The Ghost of Christmas Always with Kim Matula and Ian Harding. Now, if you remember on the countdown from last year, both, I think both Brittany and I selected The Ghost of Christmas Always as one of our top 12 movies. And that is because it was so good. I think it might have even been in the top 10 and maybe the top 5. I know it was one of my top movies for last year because I loved it. I absolutely adored that movie. So fantastic. If you have not seen it, if you did not get a chance to see it, I promise you at noon tomorrow, you will be wanting to sit down and watch The Ghost of Christmas Always. It is so unique. It is really not a cookie cutter Christmas movie. And which is why I loved it so much. This is why I loved so much of last season for Hallmark. They really went like straight out of cookie cutter mode, and had so many unique movies and stories. I'm really excited about them. Okay, so the number 3 movie is "'Tis the Season to Be Merry." I love Rachel Cook. Will always love Rachel Cook. So she's in that one with Travis Van Winkle. Then number 4, my best Christmas friend in my head, because she probably doesn't even know like I exist or live or breathe, is An Unexpected Christmas with Bethany Joy Lenz, and for the Heinies, Tyler Hines. An absolutely unexpected, funny, hilarious movie that still makes me laugh every time I see it. Like, I love that movie because it is so funny. Okay, so if you need some humor to lighten up your life, hilarious movie, Unexpected Christmas, only to be followed up with yet another hilarious movie. I mean, it's not hilarious all the way through, but it has got parts in it that are seriously funny. Christmas by Starlight with Kimberly Sustad and Paul Campbell. Now, I think they wrote that movie together, or one wrote it and one helped. I can't remember what the deal was. I know it was a Kimberly Sustad and Paul Campbell, a combined effort. But I gotta tell you, the dialogue is hysterical. Like, there are some really, really funny, there's funny funny dialogue. I gave one piece away because one of my favorite lines is, I don't think they got the razzle or the dazzle. You guys know what I'm talking about. That was one of my funny. That's like every time I see her say that and see him play off that, I crack up laughing. I'm sorry. That's like one of the funniest scenes in that movie. So anyway, watch Christmas by Starlight. Then next, after Christmas by Starlight, is Haul Out the Holly with Lacey Chabert, right? And Wes Brown. And to me, Wes Brown really went comedic in the role he plays. This straight guy that he plays, this nerdy straight guy, Christmas, whatever. I don't even know like how to describe him, but he's really funny and totally out of character for Wes Brown, which is why I think he's so funny to me. So Haul Out the Holly, if you love that movie, that is coming up. That is coming up tomorrow, okay? And Christmas Made to Order with Alexa Penavega and then Jonathan Bennett. I mean, who doesn't love both of them, right? I love them both. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so for Monday, we have Check Into Christmas, right? Now, Wes Brown is coming back again. You just saw him the night before. You're going to see him again that next morning. Wes Brown and Rachel Boston. So this is a cute movie. I like this one. Not particularly, hilarious, laugh out loud funny, but a good story. Kind of the two warring families, like the Romeo Juliet kind of thing. So Check Into Christmas, definitely like that one. Inventing the Christmas Prince. I don't know about you guys, but I loved this. I actually really did love this movie. It really grew on me. Tamara Mowry Housley and Ronnie Rowe star in this one. And this is one with the adorable daughter with the lisp. She is so adorable. I totally love this one, and I actually bought it. Like, I totally buy Ronnie in that role, because he's kind of the straight guy who ends up being a prince for the little girl. So I actually love that movie. I think it's adorable. I love the story. Now, one of my favorite movies, one of my apps, it just is like zoomed up to one of my favorite movies, is A Kiss Before Christmas. I think I have a thing for those kind of time travel movies. Different place, different time type movies, like uh Next Christmas. What is that? Oh gosh, I just had a brain fart. I have it on my thing. Next Stop Christmas. Goodness gracious. So Next Stop Christmas is one that I love a lot, and A Kiss Before Christmas is kind of in the same vein for me, right? So it stars Jane Denton and Terry Hatcher from Desperate Housewives, I think they were in, and then Mary Lou Henner's in it. Who, if you don't love Mary Lou Henner and everything, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with you. You have problems that like Christmas movies can't solve. so, so after that is the Holiday Sitter, right? And there was all this stink about the Holiday Sitter, not with me, of course, but I watched Twitter and I saw a lot of the like flack. Poor Jonathan was catching, but I'm telling you what, he held his own. And he let people know like what was going on. So, but I love the movie. I thought the story was great. And I mean, if you just watch the movie for the story and you treat characters like characters, I mean, you're gonna love the movie. There's nothing not to love. Christmas in Tahoe is after the Holiday Sitter with Laura Osnes, Kyle Selig, and Pat Monahan. And then A Very Merry Bridesmaid is, I think that's the last movie of the day. So now I got to tell you guys, like, A Very, Very Merry Bridesmaid, I was kind of slow to like that one, but then end up loving it. How about that? It took me some time to actually watch the whole thing all the way through. But when I did, I was like, what in the world was I waiting for? Like, I really like that. That's so cute. So anyway, A Very Merry Bridesmaid is the 8 o'clock movie, and that is the last movie of the day. And you go back to regular programming. On Tuesday, July 4th, which everybody should be home for the holiday, if you're in the United States anyway, is at noon. We get Sensibility and Snowmen with Aaron Krakow and Luke McFarlane, who I just told you had his little girl. So I'm very excited about that one. Love them together. Love that movie. Of course, if you know anything about Sensibility and Snowmen, it's kind of the play off of not Pride and Prejudice, the other movie by Jane Austen. I can't remember anyway. Sense and Sensibility, duh. So anyway, I love that movie. I love kind of how they kind of played off of it. It's kind of cute. 2 o'clock is We Wish You a Merry Christmas with one of my favorite people. I love Marisol Nichols, by the way, but one of my favorite people on the planet is Christopher Palaha, right? Hunka Hunka Burning Love and all that stuff. Adorable. And them two together in that movie, absolutely adorable. Okay. At 4 o'clock, I consider this a Christmas classic. One of the absolute classics that I must see every year. To the point where I bought it so that if they don't show it on TV, I have it on DVD. That's how I feel about it. The Most Wonderful Time of the Year with Brooke Burns, Warren Christie, and Henry Winkler. Love this movie. 100%. Like, if you don't know if you care to know about what I'm doing and you have no idea what I'm doing any other time, at 4 p.m. I'm going to be in front of my TV watching this movie. That's how much I love that movie. Never miss it. 6 p.m. Noel Next Door. I think that was new last year. Loved it. Natalie Hall and Corey Sevier, and he kind of plays this guy who's had a stroke, and she has and she's yeah. That's kind of one you gotta watch. It's her and her son, and her son's kind of a rascal, and she doesn't figure out until too late that he's a rascal. So, so anyway, anybody who has sons, sorry, my son's a rascal too. So what can I say? And then 8 p.m. wrapping up the day, Tuesday, is A Cozy Christmas Inn. Okay, with Jodie Sweetin. So I love that movie too. That's actually good. And this is one that was based off of Christmas Unwrapped. Is that right? The previous one with Candace Cameron Bure, and I thought, well, if there's going to be a part two and Candace is gone, then the perfect person to cast in this movie is Jodie Sweetin. So I really adore this. This is so sweet. Jodie Sweetin and David O'Donnell play in this kind of follow up to Christmas Unwrapped. Okay, Wednesday, July 5th. The 12 Gifts of Christmas at noon. I just finished telling you guys about that with Katrina Law, but Aaron O'Donnell, not David O'Connell. No, Aaron O'Connell, not David O'Donnell. I get the words all mixed up. See, these are bloopers that you would totally be missing if this wasn't a blooper show. So I'd be cutting this out, and I'm not. You get to hear it. Yay for you. Katrina Law, Aaron O'Connell, and Donna Mills. I love that movie. That's one of my faves. Christmas Connection, another one that is my favorite. Okay, Christmas Connection. Love that. Love that. Okay, so then 4 o'clock. So I've kind of got some contending sources here, but one source tells me A Christmas Next Door is going to be the next movie after Christmas Connection. And I love Christmas Connection with Brooke Burns and Tom Everett Scott. Do you guys remember him from the movie? He did the movie with Tom Hanks. That Thing You Do. You remember? That's where I began to fall in love with Tom Everett Scott as an actor, and then like he's done like several Hallmark things, including on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. But I love him in Christmas Connection. I love this movie. It's one of my favorites. I actually have it on my DVR. I love it so much. Okay. And then after Christmas Connection, of course, Christmas Next Door, another movie that I love so much. I mean, this is going to be a good day. Unfortunately, I have a bunch of meetings in the morning. But hopefully I'll be finished in time to at least catch Christmas Connection on through the rest of the day. So, and then at 6 p.m. we have A Fabled Holiday with Brooke D'Orsay and Ryan Pavey, another movie I love. And 8 p.m. is Coyote Creek Christmas with Janelle Parrish and Ryan Pavey. Awesome. Okay, Thursday, I'm going to start zipping through these a little more because I know I'm talking way too much for these movies. So Thursday's lineup, another great lineup. Like almost the whole day is going to be, I'm going to be so tied up in these movies. Okay, so another noon start. Christmas Wishes and Mistletoe Christmas. Christmas Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses. I'm looking at two different sources up here. My sources are the better sources. Okay, so one has Christmas Wishes and Mistletoe Christmas, and the other one has Christmas Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses, which is actually the movie name, and it stars Matthew Davis, who I love, and Jill Wagner, who is off doing other things. So I don't know how much she's going to be on the Hallmark Channel, and I know that I think they actually stopped Mystery 101, or quit, like kind of stopped the series like in a weird place, and they're not going to do another one. And I know the fans aren't not happy about that, and I'm not either, because I really love that, because I love Christopher Palaha, so of course I watch Mystery 101. And yeah, so I'm not real excited about that. But anyway, I wish Jill all the best in her new ventures and adventures. And then she's become a mom too, so that's a whole nother thing. So anyway, so I'm kind of sad that, because I really liked her as an actress, but Hallmark has such a great slate of actors and actresses, people that I fell in love with, who did their first movie, over the last year and over the last couple of years. And so I'm really excited to see them get more screen time too. So 2 o'clock is A Wish for Christmas with Lacey Chabert and Paul Green. That's another one that kind of grew on me. Didn't really like it at first, but like it now. Christmas Getaway, absolutely one of my favorite movies on the Hallmark Channel, with Bridget Regan and Travis Van Winkle. I love that movie. I actually believe I have that still on my DVR. It's one of those DVR movies that, when I come home and I've had a crappy day, that I'll watch the movie now and I'll get the feel goods. So yeah, that's one of those movies for me. At 6 p.m., it's Christmas Eve. Let me tell you something. LeAnn Rimes sings her whole face off in that movie. I absolutely love It's Christmas Eve, and LeAnn Rimes, she sings through the whole thing. Now, let me tell you, her singing is just beautiful and heartbreaking, and you will sob, and God forbid that you watch that and you have lost somebody. Because I'm telling you, that movie will have you bawling. It has me bawling, but in like the best way. In the way that I don't, you know me, I didn't tell you this. I do not really watch movies that I know are going to make me bawl. But I watch that one. I cannot, because her voice is just so beautiful. And I have to tell you guys, like every time I tweet about her, because every time I watch it, I tweet. And every time I hear her sing, I tweet about it. And every time I tweet about it, she responds to my tweets. This is serious. Like, you can go on and check it out if you don't believe me. But every time I tweet her, she responds to the tweet and says, thank you, love you, whatever, something, sends hearts or whatever. She's amazing. Like me. I'm like, will you interface with people? That's amazing. So anyway, watch It's Christmas Eve, and then shoot LeAnn Rimes a tweet. You'll be surprised. She may just actually tweet you back. Like I said, every time I've tweeted her, she's tweeted me back. So I'm excited about that. And then Tyler Hynes, for all the Heinies out there who didn't know how talented freaking Tyler Hynes is, this is one movie that will display that for you, because I did not know he could sing, and I did not know he could play the piano in addition to all the other stuff. And I think I've seen him on another movie, like playing the guitar. So he's like a total musician, a well-rounded musician at that. And then you can hang with LeAnn Rimes, who is like a singer. So yeah, that's kind of awesome. Okay. Then at 8 p.m., you have On the 12th Day of Christmas. This was like my number one movie in 2020. Number one for the year. And it's still one of my favorite movies, and one of my at the top of my list of Hallmark movies. 100%. Like, it'll hit my top 10 no matter what, because it's that good. It stars Mallory Jansen, and I would like to take credit for the fact that when I saw Mallory Jansen in that movie, I said, this is going to be a new Hallmark favorite. And guess what she is? A new Hallmark favorite. Thank you. Thank you very much. The prognosticator has spoken again. Okay, so Mallory Jansen's in that movie. And then, of course, they're doing our back-to-backs. Marathon kind of thing with two movie marathon with Tyler Hynes co-starring with her, and I love him in that movie. One thing about Tyler Hynes, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, like, he plays like a really good douchebag, like in the first part of the movie, But then you end up falling in love with him, and like he always makes this like change, this metamorphosis from this kind of douchey, slightly aggravating character in the beginning to this guy you just love and you just want to pinch his cheeks and say thank you for being in this movie by the end of it. But he plays he plays a good antagonistic character in the beginning. So I really I mean, he's really skilled that way. Like, he can make you hate him and love him all within a span of 2 hours. That's not an easy feat. So that's good acting, I would have to say. All right. So Friday, July 7th, we have A Jolly Good Christmas with Will Kemp and Reshma Shetty. I love that movie. That's like one of my new favorites. They just showed it on the Hallmark Channel maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. I watched it. It was so good. I loved it. And I will watch it this Friday. A Magical Christmas Village comes on at 2 p.m. This one stars Allison Sweeney, Luke McFarlane, and Marlo Thomas. I love Marlo. Who does not love that girl, Marlo Thomas? At 4 p.m., we have A Christmas Detour, starring Candace Cameron Bure and Paul Green. Very excited about that. And then 6 p.m., Christmas in Evergreen. Christmas in Evergreen is coming back. For Christmas in July, Letters to Santa. So this is the one with Jill Wagner, Mark Declan, who I love, Holly Robinson Pete, and Barbara Niven. I love Barbara Niven so much. I love her in like everything she does. And then at 8 p.m. is Picture a Perfect Christmas with Merritt Patterson and John Core, right? All right. So I'm really going to hit the highlights. I'm going to come back in a couple of minutes after a quick break, and I am going to talk about the second week of Christmas in July, and I'm going to wrap it up really quickly by talking about just the favorites that I'm going to be watching that week, and we'll go from there. All right? So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Now available on paperback and an ebook, the hilarious romantic comedy The 12 Days of Christmas by USA Today best-selling author K.L. Brady. Both recovering from heartbreak, Gabby and Dave fall for each other after Dave sends a misdirected text message to the wrong woman. But it's a comedy of errors when they try to meet face to face. Murphy's Law strikes and they may never see or speak to each other again. However, Gabby thinks Dave may be the one, so she accepts the mission to unite them before Christmas Day. Now she's got 8 days and 12 Daves to find the man of her dreams. But Dave is hiding something. 3 big things. Even if Gabby finds them, will his secrets keep them apart? Rediscover all the joy and wonder of the Christmas season when you pick up this heartwarming story today. To find out more about the 12 Days of Christmas, visit klbradyauthor.com or pick up your copy at Amazon, Apple, Kobo, or Barnes & Noble today. And now it's time for Chicks on Christmas Flicks.
And welcome back to Chicks on Christmas Flicks. All right, so in the previous segment, we highlighted the must-watch movies, which is pretty much everything for week 1 in Christmas in July. Now we're going to hit week 2 in Christmas in July. So this is starting with Saturday, July 8th, okay? Lots of good stuff this day. This is kind of a royal day for for Christmas in July. Saturday, July 8th is a royal day. You know why? Well, you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why it's a royal day? It's because that is the premiere day for a royal crush, right? A royal Christmas crush. So, starting at noon, we have One Royal Holiday with Laura Osnes and Aaron Tveit. Anyway, let me tell you, Aaron, if you guys don't know, he played in a really good FBI drama. It is probably the only FBI drama that I would co-sign and or recommend because it felt so, parts of it felt very true to the Bureau. So go look for that movie because I can't remember the name of it right now. I am totally have. Maybe by the end of the segment, I'll remember what the name of the FBI show was. I'm sure you can find it out there on demand. Of course, it's like years over, but it is, the first season of it is absolutely one of the best FBI shows I've seen in a long time. I mean, I was so hooked, and I don't get hooked on FBI things, so that's just a clue. Go out, read it, and if he's in it, if you go look in IMDb and you see what thing Aaron Tveit played in, then you will know. You will know what FBI show I'm talking about. All right, 2:00, The Royal Nanny. I fell in love with this movie 100%, and I will tell you why. Rachel Skarsten played in this movie with Dan Janot, and her English accent is what I would consider perfect. Now, I don't know if it's perfect to people from England, but to me, it sounded very close. And what I learned, because she did it so well, is that her mother is like from England. So she'd probably grown up around her mother having that accent, and then she probably learned the accent from her mother, which would explain why it's so on the nose. I mean, it sounds, to me, it's perfect. And then her character is very Mary Poppins-ish, but Poppins-ish, but not, but kind of like a Mary Poppins spy, kind of, secret agent, kind of Mary Poppins. I loved it. I loved everything about that movie. It was so good. 4:00 is A Royal Christmas. Now we know this one is one of the oldies but goodies. Another one I would consider a classic for Hallmark, with Lacey Chabert, Jane Seymour, Stephen Hagen, and Katie Flynn. 6 p.m. Another one that I would consider a Christmas classic, Crown for Christmas. I love it. Dana McKellar has gone on, off to another place, but she left behind some goodness with Crown for Christmas. I love that movie, and I love Rupert Henry Jones. Oh my goodness, he's a Hunka Burner love. So if I don't watch for any other reason, I would watch for him, and I would watch for that little girl because she is freaking adorable. Okay. 8:00 is A Royal Christmas Crush. This is a premiere with Katie Cassidy and Stephen Hazard, and they are dating. Did you guys know? They are boyfriend and girlfriend in real life. So you got to watch it for that, because you got to watch for the chemistry, right? You got to pick up on that chemistry between them in this movie. So got to watch it. And then the person who I would love to be in my next life is Megan Park and Julian Morgan. And I say that because Megan plays in more royal movies than we can shake a stick at, right? I love her movies. I love that she kind of, she really plays kind of the ordinary girl in the extraordinary world, like, super well. I love her in that. So at 10 p.m. we have A Royal Queen's Christmas, right? It takes place in Queens, supposedly, in Queens, New York. So love that. Sunday, July 9th, we have The Ghost of Christmas Always coming back. I already talked about that earlier. We have hashtag Xmas, another one with Brant Doherty. I love that movie. That was actually really good. A Royal Christmas Crush coming back, When I Think of Christmas, with Shanae Grimes Beach and Niall Mater. Okay. Beth Broderick, another really cute movie. And then A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. I love this. I love these two characters together. I actually love the story. Actually, once I sat and watched it all the way through, honestly, it took me like two or three tries. But when I watched it all the way through, I was like, why was I hesitating? I hate when I do that. So Rachel Boston and Victor Webster in A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. Loved it. Okay, Monday, July 10th, we have Switch for Christmas. We're bringing Candace Cameron Bure back with Mark Declan. We know that was a great movie where she plays the twins in the movie. Like I said, she might be gone, but she left some goodness behind with Switch for Christmas. Do love that. Noon, A Christmas Together with You, starring Laura Vandervoort, Niall Mater, and Harry Lennox. Now, if you don't know Harry Lennox, guys, another movie I got to shout out is The Five Heartbeats. If you have not seen The Five Heartbeats, well, first, shame on you, but two, go watch it. Find it, watch it. And then you will see Harry Lennox play in that movie. And then you will understand why I was so thrilled to see him come back and do this for Hallmark, A Christmas Together with You, and the role that he played. And then he actually sang a little song in the movie. So, it was bringing me all the feels because I was getting five heartbeat feels in that movie. So if you haven't watched Five Heartbeats, do. And then watch A Christmas Together with You. Okay? That's at noon on Monday, July 10th. Okay, at 2 p.m. on Monday is Hanukkah on Rye, another movie that ended up being in I think it was in my top 5, if not my top 10. Loved it. Love that movie. Jeremy Jordan, Yael Grobglass, and Lisa Loeb. Okay, it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Jewish story. I loved it 100%. It was very complex. It was just... I think if you go back on the season wrap-up show, the first or second half of it, you will hear all the gushing that I did over that movie. I loved it. It's one of my favorites from last season. All right. At 4 o'clock, we have Let It Snow. They have the wrong people on here. I know Let It Snow is another Candace Cameron Bure story. That's not what they have here. They got it wrong. I don't know. Okay, so then they have the... That's so funny. I think they've really got these things mixed up. I seriously printed this out, and they've kind of got this stuff. Pride, Prejudice, and Mistletoe. So who they have under Let It Snow is actually who plays in Pride, Prejudice, and Mistletoe. And it's because I watch a ton of Christmas movies that I can actually tell you correctly who's going to be in what. So it is Lacey Chabert and Brendan Penny who are in Pride, Prejudice, and Mistletoe. Okay, I happen to know that. And then The 9 Lives of Christmas comes up again. Yay! I don't care how many times they play that. I'm going to watch it like I did today. I did watch that before I started doing the show today. Starring Kimberly Sustad, Brandon Routh, and Gregory Harrison. Love it. Always love it. Always will love it. All right. Tuesday, July 11th, Christmas at the Plaza, which played today, which is Saturday. A Royal Corgi Christmas with Hunter King and Jordan Renzo. Now I have to tell you, Hunter is coming up in Countdown for Christmas in another movie. And I want to say I saw her in a shot with Ben. You know who I'm talking about? The Ben. You know who I'm talking about, that Ben. I can't remember his name. I want to say it's Hollingsworth, maybe, or something like that. But anyway, they look adorable together. I'm looking forward to that movie, but A Royal Corgi Christmas will hold me until then. Took me a long time to watch this movie because I thought, it's going to be like another royal movie about dogs. But I actually love this movie. It was so cute. Hallmark does it again. Let's put it that way. Another movie I liked, 2 p.m., is A Big Fat Family Christmas is coming up. Okay? So that was good. That's a really good movie. Like, really, really good movie. Shannon Chan Kit, Shannon Cook, and Tia Carrere, right? Then she plays the mother. Really good movie. 4 p.m., Nantucket Noel with Trevor Donovan and Sarah Power. Good movie. My Christmas Family Tree, one I watched before I'm doing the show now, with Amy Teagarden, Andrew Walker, and James Tupper. Love that movie. That was one of my favorites. And 8 p.m. on Tuesday, July 11th, is A Maple Valley Christmas with Peyton List and Andrew Walker. Great. On Wednesday, July 12th, A Tale of Two Christmases. I love Catherine Burrell. She's one of my favorites. I put her in the category with a Mallory Jansen. Like, that, I know she's going to be that to Hallmark Channel. Like, everybody's going to love her, and she's going to be in, like, everything. Chandler Massey, he's also one of those kind of characters. One of those kind of actors for me. Like, I want to see him in everything, and he's starting to show up in everything. He was in Next Stop Christmas, and then he was in A Tale of Two Christmases. Who would have known, back-to-back movies that I just love him in. And then Evan Roderick is in this one, A Tale of Two Christmases. So 10 a.m. Tale of Two Christmases. Hear that? 10 a.m., not noon. So July 12th, we have a 10 a.m. start. Noon, we have If I Only Had Christmas with Candace Cameron Bure and Warren Christie. I will not say, my mom always said, if you can't say anything good about a movie, don't say anything at all. So moving on. 2 p.m. Haul Out the Holly comes back again. Yay. We love this. Lacey Chabert and Wes Brown, of course. Then at 4 p.m., the part 2 of The 9 Lives of Christmas, which is The 9 Kids of Christmas. I love this movie also. They could do absolutely no wrong. Literally, they could have brought Kimberly and Brandon, and they could have stood and looked in the camera for 2 hours, and I would have been like, oh, that was the best movie I ever saw. So I am probably not the most reliable source to tell you how good it was, but I loved it. Let's put it that way. Okay. 6 p.m. Three Wise Men and a Baby. I know everybody loved that movie. That was like the number 1 movie on Hallmark last year. Number 1, number 2, something like that. I mean, it was high on the list. If it was number 2, I don't know what it was number 2 to. Like, like to what? I have no idea. But Paul Campbell, Tyler Hines, and Andrew Walker is like that, the deadly trio. And then 8 p.m. Christmas by Starlight comes back again, right? We just talked about that with Paul Campbell and Kimberly Sested. Okay, so for Thursday, now this is another day I really love. I'm really digging this day, and I'm going to give you one more day, and then when I come back, I'll give you the next 2 weeks starting on Saturday. Okay, so Thursday, July 13th, we have Christmas at Pemberley Manor. I love this one. Jessica Lowndes, and then Michael Brady. He's like one of my favorite people. Like, and I love him in so many things. But I love him in this movie. He's really good. He's a really good kind of Scroogey character, right? Who kind of lightens up eventually and becomes a nice, sweet person. So I love that. Or maybe misunderstood is the better way to put it, So he plays a good misunderstood character in that one. So that's at 10 a.m. At 12 p.m. we have Love, Lights, and Hanukkah, another Hanukkah movie that I love so much. Like, to me, they've gone 2 for 2 between Love, Lights, and Hanukkah and that. And then they had like the 8 Gifts of Hanukkah or something like that, I want to say. But all the Hanukkah movies from Hallmark I have loved so much. The Christmas Cure. I don't know where Brooke Nevins has been. I actually think I saw her on It's a Wonderful Lifetime in something, maybe a year ago or 2 years ago or something like that. But I don't think I've seen her since. So The Christmas Cure with Brooke Nevin, Stephen Byers, and Patrick Duffy. Patrick Duffy is he's awesome. And he's been awesome for like a long time. For people that go back to Dallas, that's where I got to know Patrick Duffy, back at Dallas. So I've been watching him for a lot of years. And I know I've dated myself. 4 p.m. Lights, Camera, Christmas. One of my favorite movies. Oh my gosh. Kimberly Sested and John Brotherton knocked it out of the park. Seriously, love them together. I think the year before that he did something with Candace Cameron Bure, the Christmas contest or something like that. The memorable movie to me is Lights, Camera, Christmas. I love this one. Undercover Holiday with Noemi Gonzalez and Stephen Huszar, another cute movie. And then we're wrapping up The Thursday with A Royal Christmas Crush, which we talked about, is going to premiere on July 8th. And for the last day that I'm going to talk about in this episode is Friday, July 14th. So we've got a lot of good stuff coming up this year. Okay. On this day. Sorry, not this year, this day. Friday, July 14th, starting at 10 a.m., we have Campfire Christmas. We remember that was Christmas in July, I think last year, right? That was the premiere last year with Tori Anderson, Corbin Bleu, and Jeffrey Boyer Chapman. Very cute movie. Christmas CEO with Marisol Nichols and Paul Green. That one kind of grew on me. It took me a while, but it did end up growing on me. The Most Colorful Time of the Year, starring Katrina Bowden and Christopher Russell. And then at 4 p.m., 'tis the season to be merry with Rachel Lee Cook and Travis Van Winkle. We talked about that earlier. My grown-up Christmas list. I think I talked in the last episode about this. What threw me off about this movie. So I did get thrown off about this movie, and I it's not one I love, but there's a specific reason why. And I think it would have been an easy fix. Had they called and hired me as a consultant, they would have had that fixed, and it would be everybody's favorite movie. But okay, it is what it is. Just kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke. I hope you guys are laughing at that. All right, so 6 p.m., my grown-up Christmas list. And then at 8 p.m. on that Friday is Making Spirits Bright with Taylor Cole and Carlo Mark. Now, Making Spirits Bright to me reminded me of Pumpkin Pie Wars. And they actually have one of the stars from Pumpkin Pie Wars in Making Spirits Bright to make you remember Pumpkin Pie Wars. So but to me, like, it's kind of similar. It's kind of similar, but not, because one is like fall pumpkin pies and the other one is like Christmas and Christmas lights, but it's kind of similar. So, and I love both. I actually have Pumpkin Pie Wars on my DVR and have watched it a ridiculous number of times, which is why I know it so well when I see Making Spirits Bright. Okay? We all know I'm a Christmas addict, so I don't need to go through that again. Anyway, so next weekend, I'm going to, come back and wrap up the Christmas in July month, talking about the last 2 weeks of programming for the month, which includes some of my favorites, like Next Stop Christmas and Christmas at Castle Heart, and just a lot of good stuff. Just a lot of good stuff coming up. I mean, they're really, really going to bring it home for the last 2 weeks of the month until we get back to the August releases. And Hallmark has like 6 brand new releases for the month of August. From an advertisement that I saw a little bit earlier. So and looking at the pictures, hey guys, I'm just telling you that lineup looks freaking amazing. So I am really excited for August, but I am like super duper excited for the rest of Christmas in July. So everybody, make sure that you just take the time, enjoy the time with your family, and enjoy Christmas in July. Enjoy the good feeling and the happy days that you get and the stress relief that you get from these movies, because that's what I get from it. And it is really a good way to break up the year. And so I'm really excited for the rest of the month, and I will be tuned in every single day. Please check me out on Twitter and on Instagram. I post daily the top 3 movies, the chick picks of the day. Normally the 3 movies that I'm watching. So if they have 5, I'm going to tell you the 3 that I'm especially going to watch. And you may not see 2. Sometimes it'll be 4 movies and I'll only show 3 because the graphic that the graphic that I share has slots for 3. So anyway, stay tuned, keep an eye out, because you will see every day, my releases, and it will keep you up to date on what's coming out from day to day. So again, thank you for joining the show. Thank you to my music and show editor, Will B. He created all the custom music for this show, and he's at Wildcard Music, and you can find his IG page in my show notes. Until next time, remember, at Chicks on Christmas Flicks, we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a review on your favorite platform, and tell your Christmas movie loving friends about this show. Where can you find us? I'm so happy you asked. On podcast platforms, including Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, and many more. Check out the link in the show notes. Follow us on Twitter at Chicks on Christmas Flicks with all X's, Chicks with X's, Xmas, Flicks with an X. Follow us on IG, same name. Thank you for listening, and I can't wait to get with you guys next week.